All right, I am live. Welcome to live chat, blah, 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 blah. Next. Oh, I can slide. Oh, all right, whatever. We're going to forget about that little YouTube notification. Okay, I am live. Sorry, I don't know why I have my trusty dusty songwriting notebook with me today, but well, I guess it makes sense because as you can see from the title, I am going to be talking about 3 major tips that have helped me so much as a professional songwriter during songwriting, during that whole process. So I don't know. I love my notebook. This is like oh my gosh, it's probably like my 5th notebook, 5th, 6th. I don't know what number I'm on, to be honest with you. I've been writing for 14 years, I believe it is. Hey, what's up, Astro? What's up? Yeah. So, I just wanted to hop on here real fast because, thanks. It said, hi, beautiful. Thank you so much. Hello back to you. Yeah, I just wanted to hop on here. Hi, Sam. And just kind of, sorry, you know how a girl's got to do what she's got to do. Just like the title says, I want to share with you some tips on songwriting for the whole songwriting process. I don't know how many of you might be out there that are trying to be a songwriter. Actually, I know there's a lot of people out there that are trying to be a songwriter. I, for one, am a professional songwriter, and I'm really proud and happy to say that that is literally the truth. Like, I make a living off of songwriting and being a vocalist as well. So if anybody joins on here right now during this live stream, or maybe later when it's uploaded on my YouTube channel, if you're joining and you don't know me, just so you know, my name is Rochelle Diamante. I'm a singer, songwriter, producer. I've been a singer for 15 years. Yes, 15 years. And I have been a songwriter for 14 years. And I have been a professional songwriter, like actually with like clients and deadlines and stuff like that, for about 8 years, I want to say. I think that's about right. Yeah. So that has taught me a lot as well, like actually being a professional songwriter in the songwriting world. So anyways, today I want to share with you 3 major tips that have been so helpful. They've made my life so much easier. They've made songwriting so much more fun for me. And yeah, that's what I'm going to do today. So, hi, Rochelle. My name is Rebecca, and I'm a singer-songwriter. Hey, Rebecca. That's awesome. Well, maybe these tips can help you out. Okay, so I have them written down because obviously I put them on my phone, and then I was like, I'm using my phone to live stream. So here we go. Here's a piece of paper. So 3 tips. I don't want to take too much of your time. So number 1, location, location, location. So I know you hear this usually with real estate, but it can be used with songwriting. So what do I mean by location? What I'm talking about is actually the location where you are sitting down to write your song. Guys, I cannot tell you how important this is. And it sounds ridiculous. Like, what are you talking about? This has nothing to do with the actual song. It does. It has so much to do with your inspiration, with your creativity flow. It has so much to do with your song, with, how amazing it comes out and how easily it just kind of flows out of you. So you would not believe how many places in my house I have sat and written a song, because it's usually not consistent. I mean, there will usually be like one place in the house that I'm like, you know what, this typically will get my inspiration flowing. But then sometimes that one place that I've always relied on doesn't work for me, and I've got to move and I've got to find a different spot. And you will not believe the difference that it makes, because I could literally be sitting in one spot and be like, I don't know, let's just say I'm like sitting on a couch to write a song, okay? I could literally be sitting, or right here, and have nothing coming to my head. Like, not one word, not one concept, not one line. Like, that could literally happen. And then I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna move somewhere else. And I move to laying on the floor even. Sometimes it's as simple as like it could be in the same room, but you go from sitting position to laying on the floor and suddenly like things change. My mind opens up, I can be creative and like ideas flow. So location, location, location. It is so super important that you find that spot that is the most inspiring to you. And it's okay for you to like really take some time and like, okay, the laying down didn't work. I went from sitting to laying, that's still not working. Okay, I'm gonna go outside. This is actually usually when all else fails, going outside, if it's not raining, of course, but going out there, feeling the vitamin D from the sun, or just feeling the breeze on your face and walking, like pacing while you're trying to think, so helpful, at least for me. I mean, obviously everybody's different, but for me, like just pacing, in the backyard helps so much in just kind of getting the creative juices flowing in my mind. And then, just writing a song. Like, it's crazy the difference that a location makes. So my parents, they have watched me because my studio is for now in their house, like in one of their rooms. They've got a beautiful big house. And so one of their rooms has my studio in it right now until I can move it to my husband and I's house. But they have seen me in the weirdest places. Like, they will find me in a corner. I'll either be tucked in or I'll be completely sprawled out on the floor, on the couch, on the bed, outside pacing, outside laying on the floor, sitting by the pool, with my feet in the pool, with my feet outside of the pool, walking through the grass. I mean, they've seen me everywhere because you just go where the inspiration hits. That is the most important thing. Otherwise, you're going to be taking forever to get inspired and it's not going to be helpful. So, location, location, location. That also works for songwriting. Okay, so that's tip number 1 that is so important. Tip number 2, forget about the structure. So now we've got our location, we're gonna sit down, we're gonna start writing. What I mean by structure, so a song typically has like a standard structure, which is usually like you go verse 1, pre-chorus, chorus, verse 2, pre-chorus repeats, chorus repeats, bridge, and then chorus repeats, and then maybe you'll do like a little change up outro to just make it a little sparkly at the end, just to kind of change things up. Okay, so that's the typical structure of a song, right? So when I was writing songs like in the early years of my songwriting career, I used to just be like, oh, well, I'm starting from the beginning, and so I need to write the verse, like the first verse. And once I get the first verse done, then I write the pre-chorus. And once I get the pre-chorus done, then I write the chorus, like going in that structure, going according to that order. And it used to waste so much of my time because honestly, the song is not really something that you are completely controlling. I feel like a song really writes itself and it tells you what wants to be written. Hopefully that doesn't sound weird. That's just how it is for me. Like, sorry, I'm getting over something right now, like a little sickness, but I literally have to listen for what the song wants to do. So anyways, the point is, you don't have to stick with that structure. In fact, I recommend that you don't get stuck on that structure because you will be standing there banging your head against the wall because the song doesn't want to write the verse first sometimes. Sometimes what comes to your head is the pre-chorus, which is like the most random spot in the song, but sometimes that's what you're vibing with the most. That is literally what comes to your mind the most and the quickest, and just in that one moment, your mind's like, pre-chorus. I don't know why, that's just what it is. And you just have to listen to it. If you get so stuck in a structure, you will not move. You won't be able to do anything because the point is you need to get your pen writing. Once you start writing, everything just follows along and it just comes into play. So this is something that I had to learn how to do as a professional songwriter because as I had deadlines now that I had to meet. I couldn't just like take my sweet time and wait for like inspiration to just magically hit me. I had to get inspired and I needed to write a song that day. I couldn't just say, no, I'm not going to do it today. Now, of course, there are certain days when you literally have writer's block and no matter the location, no matter, you going out of order in the structure, no matter what tips I tell you, they're not going to work that day. And those are the days when you have to take a step back and be like, It's not gonna work. And that's okay. But most of the time, you will be able to write a song if you follow these steps. So I will be, trying to write a song, and now I'll just listen to the track, because a lot of times I have the track first. So that's just the structure that I use, is I have the track first and then I write to the track. So I'll listen to the track, just play it over and over and over. I'll hum some melodies. I'll just kind of like try to get some melodies going, get some ideas. I mean, and when you're writing melodies, by the way, like this is just kind of a bonus tip, all right? When you're writing melodies, why is that weird for me to say? Make sure you're really exploring like your options. Like, I mean, go crazy. Like, go high, go low, go growl, go rap, go singing, go any which way at all. Literally, in the beginning, you are brainstorming. You are trying to find what is right for this track. What is missing and what does it need you to bring to it? And so really don't have any like restrictions when you're just kind of coming up with melodies, okay? That's just a bonus tip. But anyways, so I'll be like going through the song over and over, and sometimes just the hook hits me, and that is awesome if the hook hits you, because usually that is the entire point of the song. And so if that gets you first, then the rest of the story is going to come after it a lot easier. But sometimes it's the pre-chorus. Sometimes it's the second verse, because you for some reason have more depth and details to tell, but you still don't know how to start the stories. It's so weird, but my point is, don't get stuck on structure. Don't say you have to write the first verse before you can get to the pre-chorus. You have to write the pre-chorus before you can get to the chorus. That is not important. All that matters is you get your pen moving and you just get the ball rolling just in your mind. The story will start to come to life as soon as you start writing it. So pre-chorus comes to me, I start writing it. Next thing I know, now I know how to start the song. Now I know how to introduce this idea that I've got going here. And now I know, all of a sudden I write that verse, I have the pre-chorus, now I have the verse. Now I know what the point of the song is, which is the hook, like the main line that people are going to remember. The main point of my story is in the hook. So now I get it. Now I see where it's going. But it's really like the song telling you what it wants to be. So don't worry about the structure through that. Just let it flow, and then later say what I'm talking about. Let it flow. Just let it flow, and then later you can rewrite it and put it in order, and then it'll make sense of the whole song. But as long as you get those pieces, that's all you need. Okay, all right. Step number 3, or tip number 3, not step. These are not steps here. Tip number 3 that I'm going to share with you today. Walk through the story. So now we've got our location, we're forgetting about the structure, right? And we've got this inspiration going. Now we get it. Like, we've written part of the song. A lot of times when you get the first verse done, you get the pre-chorus, you get the chorus, you're like, woo, I got the song. And then you get to the second verse, and a lot of times that's where you get a little bit hung up, or it just takes you a little longer. You got to take a step back, because when you set up the song, you're like, cool, I introduced it in the first verse. Then you get to the pre-chorus and you're like, cool, now I'm attaching the first verse with the hook. Like, I'm leading into my point. That's what the pre-chorus does. And then you get to the hook or the chorus, and you're like, sorry, a hook and a chorus, same thing, by the way, sorry. And then you get to that chorus, and that's like, boom, here's my point. Here's what I'm talking about. Here's what I mean with the rest of the story. This is my point that I'm trying to make to you, okay? That's the point of it, right? But then you get to the second verse, and you're like, I basically just already told them everything. I already told them how I started, the lead up, and the point of my story. So that is the main meat that I've already told them. But now you're on verse 2, and what you have to do at this point is give extra details. So now you got to go deeper. You have to dig deeper. You've got to give extra details as to really just bring your point home, right? You told them the surface. Now you have to get deeper. So that's why sometimes it takes a little bit, because you're like, where do I go from here? And if you haven't lived whatever experience you're writing about, then it gets even harder, because you're like, literally, what do I do in this situation? So that's when it's not you anymore. You need to become the person that's in the story. So you need to actually walk through the story. So I will look back at the lyrics that I've written and I'll read them like a story. Like I won't sing them. I'm not doing any of that. I'm just like blah 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 blah. Like just reading it like a story so that I can see where the story needs to go next. It's really like what's the next step that's coming. And then I put myself in this person's shoes, like if it's from a first person's perspective. I'll put myself in their actual shoes and I'll close my eyes and I'll visualize myself being in that situation. So, I don't know what it'd be writing about, but if you're like in a really troubled home or something, like you're writing about some abusive home life or something like that, put yourself in that person's shoes. So close your eyes and think about being in that house and what does that house look like? You know what? I think they have a picture on the wall that is kind of crooked because there's a lot of abuse and violence in that house. And so the house can shake, people can be pushed against the wall, therefore the pictures kind of shake and the picture's a little bit crooked. I'd say that they have a lot of chipped furniture because of the violence. Also, it's dark. The blinds are drawn. They're always closed. Maybe they have a dog. Like literally, I mean, you get into that story. You get into that vibe. You have to be there. You have to see it. You have to like walk through the story. So it'll be like, okay, so now I'm here. I've been through whatever your song's already talked about, okay? So I've been through that, blah, blah, blah. Now I'm here in this house. What's my next move? Here's my hands. Like I will literally like see my hands. I'll see my feet in this house. I'm probably barefoot in this house, honestly. And what step am I taking next? You know what? Maybe I'm sick and tired now. I'm sick and tired of the abuse that I've dealt with. I'm sick and tired of being in this house and dealing with this dirty carpet, these smells, the violence, the hate, and I'm going to take a risk for my life and I'm going to run out that door, you know? And so then you need to take that story and put that into your song. So that's the next step. That's when you find, oh, I know what she's going to do now. Now she's going to run. And that's going to cause a whole effect of story to come later because they're going to come after her. She's going to try to get away. Maybe she doesn't get, you know what I mean? So that's what I mean. You've got to get into that story. You've got to live it. You've got to breathe it. You've got to feel it. You have to see it in your mind. And then you'll know where to go next. You'll know what details need to come next. So, yeah, I guess those are my 3 tips. That's really the whole point of me jumping on here. It's about to be 20 minutes, so I think that's a good time to stop this live stream. I'm going to take the last couple minutes, 18 minutes now. I'm going to take the last couple minutes to answer questions. So if you guys have any questions, please write in right now. But yeah, just to recap, location, 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 so important. Walk through this. Oh, wait, I wrote this out of order. I actually told you in a different order. Okay, so step number 1 was location, location, location. Find the best place wherever you are that is going to give you the most inspiration to start writing the song, okay? It depends on where you're at. That actually affects your creativity. So that's 1. Number 2, forget about the structure of the song, right? Like you don't have to start with the verse and then go to the chorus. And then go to the pre-chorus, and then go to the chorus, and then go verse 2. You don't have to follow that. Just let the song tell you what it wants to do. Just feel it out, listen, 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 and then you'll just know what you need to start with. Start with the pre-chorus, go to verse 2, go to verse 1, go to the hook, go to the bridge, go to the outro. You know what I mean? And it could be totally jumbled on your page. When you rewrite it, it'll be in order. As long as all your pieces get there, that's going to help you a lot. And tip number 3 was walk through the story. When you are trying to get more in depth into your story and you're trying to give more details and you don't really know where to go next, close your eyes, put yourself in that character's position. If it's a violent home, I gave that example, then put yourself in that home. I mean, literally, what does it look like? What does it smell like? What does the carpet feel like under your feet? Look at your hands in that situation, and then look around you in your mind's eye, look around you and figure out what your next move would be if you were that character. So walk through the story, and that'll give you your extra details that you're missing. So yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed this. Let me go ahead and check your guys' comments and stuff. I don't know how to do that. Oh, here we go. Okay, let me see what you guys are saying. This is Henry, by the way. Henry, why is your name Astro Review? Just curious. Hola, hola. I'm a songwriter myself. That's awesome, Henry. Congrats. Okay. I've been singing since I was 3 years old. I've always wanted to become a singer musically, but I am stuck and I need help. Oh, let's see. You're the sun that lights up to my day. You're the days that make me have a smile on my face. Those are probably awesome lyrics. Let's see here. Make me have a smile on my face when I feel like hope is gone. You give me strength to carry on, a love never lost. That's so beautiful. I love those lyrics. So that's already an amazing start for you, Rebecca. You're the sun that lights up my day. You're the days that make me have a smile on my face. So it's very positive, very bright. If you close your eye, I'd say that you definitely, when you're stuck, you need to close your eyes and you need to put yourself in this position. So it's a sunny day, right? You're so happy. Like with these lyrics, I'm just reading that you're just so incredibly happy because this person makes you feel so happy. Sorry, you're gonna fade away if I don't keep clicking this screen. So put yourself in that position. What does it feel like? That joy, that giddiness when somebody's making you feel so good. Like when you know that you can't live without that person and that person can't live without you. So maybe the next step that you want to start talking about is your history together, right? Dig a little bit deeper, get into details of the story. So your history together, how did you meet? What was your life like before this person came into it and made it so fantastic? How would you feel if you didn't have them anymore? So those kind of details are going to get your brain moving on your next lyrics. Okay, so I hope that helps you. Let's see. Thank you for streaming, of course. Excellent tips. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. What did you think about the dance I made for LaLaLa Not Listening? Oh, Henry, what I thought about is I'm about to share that actually. It's awesome. I think it's so cool. Thank you so much. For those of you who might not know, I have a song called LaLaLa Not Listening, which is on this page that I just released. I did write that song. So if you're curious about my songwriting skills, I've got my single Who Am I? I've got my single LaLaLa Not Listening right here on my page. And I wrote those, I produced them as well. I'm the sole producer, the writer, the recorder. I mean, I recorded myself, the vocalist, I'm kind of everything for my songs. But yeah, so anyways, you did a TikTok dance to that, Henry, and that was really awesome, to LaLaLa Not Listening. It was awesome. So I really appreciate that. You guys are so cool and you guys make stuff to my songs. It's so cool. By the way, these 3 tips I use in all of my originals. I use every single time I write a song. Like, it is so important, like so important. These tips will change your life. If you are sitting there just beating your head against the wall because you just cannot come up with your next thing, or even you just can't get started on it, use these tips and see how they help you. Location, forget about the structure, walk through the story. Just see how those help you, and then, comment below, I guess. If you're watching this, you try them out, come back and comment below and let me know what you thought about it. I am by no means a songwriter, but this stream has been an eye-opener as to how songwriting works. The tips you shared are so relatable and make all the sense. Thank you for sharing. You know I'm a fan. Thank you so much, Antonio. I really appreciate that. Yeah, it's a world in itself. I mean, songwriting is something so cool. I'm extremely passionate about songwriting. So it's really, really fun. But there are definitely things that I've learned throughout my years of songwriting that have helped me to be able to be a better songwriter, and also just to be able to be creative on the spot, because that's another thing. But I have more tips for that, so I think that'll be a different live stream, or at least a different video here, where I talk about like how do you get instant inspiration, because when you're a professional songwriter and you have deadlines, and or you're in a studio and they're paying you to write a song right then and there for an artist, you need instant inspiration. And so that would be for a different video though, but I do have tips for that as well. That has helped me a lot, so to get a lot faster and to make a great quality song, because it's not just about how fast you go, but it's about the quality of song too, especially if people are paying you and depending on you. Cool. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much, you guys, for joining this live stream. I went overboard like I always do. It's 25 minutes. But I do hope that you guys found this interesting. For those of you who are joining in at a later date while this is just uploaded on my channel, thank you guys so much for clicking on this video. I hope this helped you. Comment below, let me know what you thought. And I will do more of these where I just give you guys tips, because there are a lot of things that I've learned, and I am primarily self-taught, but it's been great. It's been great. I've gone through a lot of trial and error. So if I can save you, a future songwriter, from having to deal with all the error that I've gone through, like, come to my page. I would love to share those tips. So yeah, I'm gonna do more of these. But thank you guys so much for joining this live stream. Thank you so much for clicking on this video for later when you click on it. And love watching you and listening to you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the support. My singles are on my page. I have a whole originals playlist. Who Am I is on there, which is a single that I wrote and produced. I mean, I wrote and produced almost everything on that playlist. So you can check the credits and you can see. But LaLaLa Not Listening is my latest single, which has done amazingly. Thank you guys so much for that support. I really appreciate it. And if you guys feel like continuing to stream it on this wonderful, lovely day, then, you know, it's on Spotify, it's on iTunes, it's everywhere. So yeah, real fast, I just want to read Rebecca's comment here. I did meet someone, his name is Jason Kirschman. He's Jewish. I met him at a choir called Tamir Neshama Choir. We liked each other right away, so we fell in love, and now we're engaged. Oh, congratulations! How cute! Well, then that's definitely, like, those feelings that you feel and that experience in your life is definitely what you need to harness, and like let that fuel your song, because you're writing such a beautiful love song, and obviously you feel like you have such a beautiful love, and so write about that. Channel those feelings into your writing. Okay, I'm gonna go now. I just realized I've been holding this pen this entire time. I guess it works as we're talking about songwriting, but there you go. Thank you guys so much for joining, and I hope you have a wonderful day. My social media links are going to be in this description if you feel like following me and just kind of seeing what I'm doing on a daily basis on TikTok, but also just what I'm doing in general with music on all of my social media platforms. They're in the description. If you feel like subscribing, that'd be cool. If you feel like giving it a like, that'd be awesome. And I hope you have a fantastic day. So I'm gonna get off this thing now and leave you alone, and I'll see you later. I don't know how. Okay, love you!